Hey, it's me, GV, and welcome to the GV channel. Ladies and gentlemen, hello, hello, hello. This is episode 7 of our Pokemon White Nuzlocke, which is going pretty well, all things considered. By the way, I like that you can see your reflection, these little puddles. Yeah, going pretty well. Now, we're at Pinwheel Forest, which means we're about to get a very important encounter. And if we get lucky, it might be very big, very important. So we gotta be careful here with the encounters. Hi, trader. I will let you see what kind of Pokemon I have. And also, key thing to remember here too is, so Pinwheel Forest is weird because it gives you the route before you go into Pinwheel Forest, right? What that means is if you go into the forest, you'll get bugs, but if you come out here, you'll get a super effective type against the gym leader in Nacrene City. Nacrene. So point is, get the encounter here before you go into Pinwheel Forest. And I'm sure some people consider Pinwheel Forest like, oh god. It's so ridiculous, man. When a move, it's just like, man, I don't want to harp on it, but like when it comes to my luck, it's just like I know as soon as he does a 2 to 5 hit move, it's gonna be 4 or 5. I know it, and like I'm like, if it crits, we're just dead. Luckily, that didn't happen. Okay, now we can use a potion here. HP restore. Potion is 20 HP, so it'll go up to 35 out of 43, and then we could still die if we get bad luck again. So I'm gonna super potion here and try to get past the rock blast. Hopefully if he does like a 2-hit rock blast, he goes for the sand attack, which honestly is good as well, even though again my luck with that, I'm not gonna talk about the luck. I hate every playthrough that I do that involves luck or RNG or percentages. I hate that I always get into the same trap complaining about it, but it does feel brutal a lot of the time. Did you see my Pokemon? It's sturdy and whatever. Yeah, okay. It's a rock. Get over it, bro. Pokemon with the sturdy ability cannot be knocked out with 1 hit, which, yeah, is way better in this generation than it used to be. It used to be a joke. Like, surviving a 1-hit KO move. I mean, maybe there was niche uses. I don't know. It's always that sort of thing where something that sounds bad could actually be amazing, given the right circumstances, of course. All right, so here we go. So we're going to switch in Nepty. And then what we really want to see is a certain type of Pokemon here. Now, the other thing, and in fact, I probably should just look this up right now. Beep, beep, boo, beep, beep, beep. Pinwheel Forest, Pokemon White. So, it's always hard for me to tell, like, what Pokemon here. So, Pokemon. So, in Pokemon Black and White, in the normal grass, we have a 20% chance to get something that I want. We have a 10% chance. Why does this look different? So it sounds like we have a 20% chance to get what I want, a 40% chance to get not what I want, and actually we really do not want that. And then we also have a 10% chance to get another Pokemon that I want, if I'm understanding this correctly. And yeah, the Pokemon are totally different when you go into Pinwheel Forest. So, point is, 20% chance or 10% chance. I don't know how percentages work, but basically, maybe a 30% chance to get a Pokemon that we actually want, but a 40% chance to get a Pokemon that I do not want. Everything else is a duplicate, a dupe's clause. So we don't care about that. So let's hope that we get lucky. And I don't think it matters where we are either. I think if we just go into any patch of grass here, it'll be the same. Although it did talk about dark grass too, though. Okay, I'm brave and a bold. Let's get right to the battle. So yeah, if that happens, that's probably pretty big. So we have basically a 40% chance versus, I guess, like a 30% chance in order to get a really helpful Pokemon. All right, so he sends out a Tympole, which I think is flat water type. Bubble Beam, weak water move. We're going to go for the Psybeam here. Uses Supersonic, which is super annoying. I think 70% chance to land, which then confuses us. Became confused. Yeah. It's like I don't even have to read the text that appears on the screen. I just know what's going to happen. I know that's negative, and I'm trying not to be negative, but it's just like, I mean, how can you not be? You know what I mean? It's so annoying. Okay. It's just like, yeah, if I ever get confused, it's like I basically just have to switch because I know those dice rolls. Okay, we're gonna... I'm gonna be more positive. I hate that I always get looped into this sort of habit when, like, I'm playing a RNG type game like Pokemon. All right, so Hypnos grows to level 14. Good. About to send in a Tympole. I'm just gonna try to do the same thing here. So Tympole, water type. We're gonna go for the Psybeam. It has a Growl, which, yeah, we're not using an attack. We're not using a physical type move here. So that does not matter. We're going to Psybeam it. Okay, one more Psybeam will kill it. Goes for a Growl again. What a fool. What an utter fool. Your Growl does nothing for this fight. And thus, you lose. Good day, sir. About to send in another Tympole, okay? Well, we're pretty in a... Yeah, we're in a good spot here. Goes for the Bubble Beam, which outspeeds, which can reduce speed, right? Can it? I feel like that's a thing. Okay. And we get the confused there, so I'm going to go for the kill now then. Let's go for the Psybeam. He gets confused. Hits itself in its confusion. Beautiful. You love to see it. You love to see it. Goodbye, Tympole. Thank you for playing. My bold bravery is vanishing into the air. Okay. I will tell you, because you're strong, only one piece of the challenge rock will be chipped off each day, which I don't know what the challenge rock is whatsoever. But I know it has something to do with fighting type Pokemon, so we're going to come back up here and try to heal. Okay, here's our encounter. Please, come on. Damn it. It's exactly what I did not want. So, Tympole, yeah. This is a Water-type Pokemon, which is unfortunate because we already have a Water-type Pokemon. And furthermore, we could have gotten a 20% chance to get a Timburr, which actually would have been awesome as far as I can tell. Because Timburr is a Fighting-type Pokemon that has a triple evolution, or, you know, 2 evolutions. Or we could have had a... 30%? I don't know. I forget what it is. It's like a 20% to get the Timburr, and then it's a 10% chance to get either Throw or Sock. Basically, you know, a mirrored type fighting type Pokemon, depending on whether you're playing black or white. So that would have been great, because the fighting type Pokemon would have been great, but unfortunately we got the one I didn't want, because we already have a water type. By vibrating its cheeks, it emits sound waves imperceptible to humans. It uses the rhythm of these sounds to talk. Disgusting. We call this last one Abomin, because this thing is an abomination. It's got a face of a human. I hate it. We're going to call him... I'm just going to call him T-Nep. Much like Neptune, like Nepti. We're going to kind of remix it and just call him T-Nep. Yeah. Much like the god of the sea, at least in Roman mythology, which as far as I understand is literally just basically stolen Greek mythology, right? Which is why Roman mythology doesn't get any love a lot of the time, I feel like. All right, so that's unfortunate. Yeah, because we could have gotten Timburr, which I really would have liked to see. Outside of that, Throw and Sock. Yep, there it is. Of course, just to taunt me. Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, so there he is. Yeah, because Timburr evolves into, I think, Girder and then Conkeldurr, which is like the dumbest name I think I've ever heard for a Pokemon. Oh, wow. And then we get, yep, Throw right after it. All right, cool. Very cool. Just taunting me, huh? Yeah, so both of those, I think, flat fighting types, which, of course, fighting is super effective against normal, so that would have been really nice to have. Not only that, but they're also interesting Pokemon, too. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Okay. So, and then the other thing... Yeah, keep in mind, like, Throw is what, a 10% chance? So we just got the 20% chance, then I think the 10%, then another 10%. As if the game is just, again, flat out taunting me. But I'm used to it. I put up with a lot of abuse in the realms of RNG. Alright, so let's go over here, just because I want to see if there's, like, a secret item. Okay, so now let's go ahead and clean up all this place, which has a lot of fighting type trainers, which is obviously good for experience. And then we've got an item right here. Austin found an antidote. Thank you. And then if we go over this way, repels effect wore off. No real reason. I mean, we could kill these enemies in these, yeah, we could do it. Might actually be worth, I don't know. Wild Pokemon are just weird, man. I can't tell if it is worth or not a lot of the time. Okay, Super Potion there. And then we got another trainer coming up over here. So let's go right here, and then let's switch in Mana. I think we just want Mana to be somewhere near the level of Nepty, right? Again, it's kind of hard for me to figure out like what the best way is to train our Pokemon. These are special Pokemon I just caught. All right, bring it on. Ooh, Venipede. Yeah, I do like this. This is one of my favorite bug type lines. So bug type here. Bug and dark, actually, I think. So that means Psybeam. Ah, crap. Wow, that's kind of OP. I just realized. So I don't know. I'm assuming Venipede and its line is bug dark, which means dark is immune to psychic. So we could switch Afro or Akari in here. If I'm going to use a flying type, I probably would want Afro, who does have Gust, right? So let's switch in Afro. Oh my god. Okay, so that just used Pursuit there, which was super effective and also attacks when you're switching in a Pokemon. That was actually very scary. Let's go for the Gust here. We do outspeed. Flying type, super effective against bug types. Good damage, too. Goes for the Poison, Sting, Stab. Doesn't really do much, but if it poisons, that can be bad. Okay. That Pursuit was a little scary. Okay, down goes the Venipede. Good. Afro gets some XP. Hypnos levels up to 15 as well. About to send in a Lillipup, weak to fighting type moves, but we have nobody that has a fighting type move. We do have Rock Smash, but again, if you don't have a fighting type Pokemon that can make use of the Stab, I don't think it's going to do much. The base power is extremely low, so we're going to go for the Razor Shell here. I just caught them and have not raised them yet. Yeah, okay. I like how he just says that little excuse. Okay, we'll catch some different Pokemon in Pinwheel Forest and have more friends. You do that, my boy. Oh, interesting. So the grass was rumbling here, which means this is going to be an Audino. And it's also playing weird-ass music, too. So Audino is weird. This is a normal-type Pokemon. I'm just going to go for the Psybeam here. Uses Helping Hand, but it doesn't have anybody to help it. Okay, that is low damage. Wow. Attract, which doesn't work because they have to be opposite genders. And they're both male. So we also know it has Double Slap and then Refresh. I don't know what Refresh is. Ooh, critical hit there. Used an Oran Berry. Okay, hopefully Refresh doesn't... you probably want to use Double Slap, bro. That's really your only option here. Got the Confuse. Good. So the thing with Audino, and we're going to see how helpful this is here. Use Refresh, which again, I don't know what that is. Okay. So Audinos give you tons of XP. Wow. 1,200 XP. That might be enough to get 2 levels here. Grew to level 16. Yeah. Wow. Grew to level 17. Wants to learn the move Moonlight. I think that's a healing move, isn't it? The user restores its own HP. The amount of HP regained varies with the weather. Interesting. That's definitely better than Lucky Chan. I think Lucky Chan is a joke. Maybe it's really good, though. I don't know. But a restorative move is usually very good. Okay, so, yeah, Audinos are an interesting thing for Generation 5 because they give you tons of XP. As far as I can tell, the basic idea is that they're supposed to just let you grind without having to grind wild Pokemon, which, like, we had to do that in our Nuzlocke for Generation 3, and my god, it was horrible. Like, man, it was just... You have to grind so much. It's really not fun. So anyways, Audinos, I think, are a way to kind of avoid that, which is really nice. And I don't know exactly how we're going to do it for the Nuzlocke. If it gets to be, like, overpowered, where we could basically just, like, Omega grind our Pokemon, we won't do that because that's cheap. I test the challenge rock with my fist every day. It's important to make steady progress little by little. But, yeah, good to know, because we can basically get a Pokemon to see it and then kill it with a different Pokemon, then get them tons of XP pretty much. Now, I'm keeping Mana out here because Mana is Psychic, and Psychic is super effective against fighting types. So, we're going to go for the Psybeam. He does outspeed. Rock has nothing to do with Psychic. I think it can make a Pokemon flinch, though, right? Doesn't Rock Throw flinch, maybe? Let's Psybeam again. Goes for the Rock Throw again. Yeah, I think Rock Throw can flinch. But it's not coming out, so that's good. All right, down goes the Timber. Get some XP there. I still have not tried hard enough. Okay, well, whose fault is that? I test the Challenge Rock every day with my Pokemon. Why don't you check out the Challenge Rock with a Fighting-type Pokemon? Because I don't have a Fighting-type Pokemon. That's why. Because I wasn't able to get one, which is really annoying, you know? Okay, so here's the Challenge Rock. It's a Challenge Rock, and I'm going to write down for Pinwheel Forest, in parentheses, Challenge Rock. Just in case we get a Fighting-type Pokemon. I trade like a madman to my Pokemon trading before. All right, let's see what he's got. Again, we have super effective moves versus psychic types. Super effective moves versus fighting types is what I mean. To bide? Interesting. Okay, we're going to go for Psybeam. He does another Rock Throw. We don't want to see a flinch or a crit. No flinch. No crit. We would want to see a... Ooh. Okay, let's go for the Moonlight. I honestly don't know why I did Moonlight there. Yeah, we could have died there. Well, I mean, could have died at any point regardless. But we're gonna... I just want to see Moonlight, I guess, ultimately. Okay, so that heals a decent amount, and that is in... like normal weather, I guess. Okay, he's gonna go for the Focus Energy, which seals his doom then. Because you will not survive the Psy Wave, I'm afraid. Goodbye. Yeah, even though I lost, I'm energetic. Okay. My fighting type Pokemon, I traded to smash the Challenge Rock. Yeah, I don't know what the Challenge Rock is. To me, it sounds like maybe you just keep hitting it. And then eventually it breaks and you get something. But you specifically need a fighting-type Pokemon? I don't know. I don't know the point. Now, I'm wondering here, should we just move around until we see an Audino? But the problem is I don't know, how often they spawn. Because we could, mega power up our Pokemon here. And that might just be something we want to do before we take on the gym. Because the gym is going to be horrifying for a specific reason. Although... Beep, beep, boo, beep, beep, boo. I wonder if there's a way around it, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, because there's a specific move that Lenora uses that is ludicrous. So stupid. 4 wards. So this thing is flying normal, right? So I think we will Psybeam and try to take this thing down. Goes for a quick attack, which is a stab. Oh my god. I didn't realize how low we were. Okay, but we should be fine. Goes for the Gust, which hopefully is not 2 crits in a row. Good. Psybeam. Ba ba ba. Bee boo. Ba ba bee bee boo. Not enough to level up, but we might as well grind it out. So let's talk to Nurse Lady here. Deep boop beep beep. So yeah, question of the episode, ladies and gentlemen. What is your least favorite starter? Everyone has a favorite starter, but what is your least favorite starter? Obviously, Gen 1, you got Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charmander. All great. Definitely would not be my answer. Generation 2, you have Chikorita, Totodile, and Cyndaquil. Some strong ones there. Generation 3, you have Torchic, Mudkip, and Trico, right? All fantastic Pokemon there. Strong pokes there. And then Gen 4, this is where I start to get a little confused. Gen 5 is obviously Oshawott, Snivy, and Tepig. Right? And then Gen 6... Yeah, okay. Well, I'm just going to say definitely Chikorita from Generation 2. I do not like Chikorita at all. It looks dumb to me. It looks like a Neopet. And I don't know, I just don't like it. I don't like its line. It's if I had to cut one line from Pokemon in general, I would say Chikorita. Yeah, the Chikorita line. Let me know in the comment section what you think. I want to see things no one can see. The truths of Pokemon inside Pokeballs. The ideals of how trainers should be in a future where Pokemon have become perfect. Do you feel the same? No. Huh, I expected more from you. Now pay attention. My friends and I will test you to see if you can see this future too. Okay, we're just going to call them rival battles. They're not, obviously. It's not really a rival, but, you know. All right. So actually, our 2 frontliner Pokemon here should be pretty strong. We know about the quick attack. Let's go for the Yawn to lead here. Goes for the Growl. I like how these guys are always like, I want to learn the truth about Pokemon, whatever the hell they say. And then meanwhile, they don't know anything about Pokemon. You're using Growl on a Munna? Like, why? Why would you even do that? Leer, okay, reduces our defense by 1 stage, which we can offset with Defense Curl, of course. Gonna go for the Stab Psybeam. Oh my god. That damage is crazy. And it's asleep. I love how the eyes shut in this game, too. When they're asleep. Good little detail. Okay, down goes Pidove. About to send in Timple. Weak to Grass. Weak to Electric, which we don't really have. So let's switch in Nepty. Let's get Nepty some experience because Munna is already at the same level. Out comes the Nepty. Out comes the Timple. Let's go for the Razor Shell. Tackle might be better. We'll see how much damage because water resists water. Yeah, good damage though. Defense drops as well. Goes for the Supersonic. Freaking annoying. So annoying, because every time I get confused, that means I'm just going to hit myself 100 times. Really gets frustrating. Hey, check it out. Yeah. See, I have to say that so that the game doesn't do it. You know what I mean? It's annoying. All right, about to send in Timber. Ooh. Don't mind if I do. Go out, Hypnos. Bapa, bapa, beepa, 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 doopa, deepa, boopa. All right, out comes the Timber. We are forewarned about its low kick, which is fine. Psybeam should obliterate it. How the hell did this thing outspeed me? How the hell did this thing outspeed me? Genuinely. We're 5 levels above it. Maybe Munna is just considered really slow. Okay, down goes Timber. I cannot see the future yet. The world is still to be determined. Yeah, whatever, dude. Right now, my friends aren't strong enough to save all Pokemon. Maybe I can't solve the equation that will change the world, so I need power. Power enough to make anyone agree with me. Right. Now I know what power I need. Reshiram, the legendary Pokemon that, along with the hero, created the Unova region. It's my turn to become that hero, and you and I will be friends. Okay. Whatever you say. People really like that character, but to me, anybody that's like a villain, I know he's supposed to be a good guy too, or whatever. To me, like, I don't know. It's hard for me to, like, attach myself to that sort of thing. Welcome to the Nakreen Museum. You can get to the Pokemon Gym by going to the back of the museum. I am researching Pokemon fossils here. If you have a fossil, bring it to me. Wow, whenever I look at the skeleton, I'm fascinated. Welcome, I'm Hawes, the assistant director. Since you were kind enough to visit, I'll give you a tour of the museum. This skeleton is of a dragon-type Pokemon. There's a theory that it had an accident while it was flying around the world, and so it became a fossil. This rock is amazing. It's a meteorite. It contains some kind of energy from space. Oh, this is an ordinary old stone. It was found near the desert, but other than the fact that it's old, it doesn't seem to have any value. We only display it because it's rather pretty to look at. The Pokemon Gym is just beyond here. At the end of the gym, a very strong and kind gym leader is waiting. By the way, the gym leader, Lenora, happens to be my wife. I see. So you're biased. You're a biased man. This is a skeletal specimen from a Pokemon that flew around the world. Who could that possibly be, man? I just can't tell what type of Pokemon that is. It's probably a Hypnos. Not a Hypno. Forgot that Hypno was a Pokemon for a second. Okay. Bones that were once carried as weapons by a certain kind of Pokemon. I like how they say by a certain kind of, well, I guess, I don't know. It's tongue-in-cheek. Obviously, it's Cubone or Marowak. Rare Pokemon from around the world. Museums are packed with adventure. Masks that ancient people used to wear at festivals. A plate with an unknown script carved into it. An ancient round stone that was buried in the desert. Perhaps there's a Pokemon that came from space along with this meteorite. Meteor that has a space virus attached to it. It's a fossil of a Pokemon that was protected by a very hard shell. So that's Armaldo or something like that, and then that's talking about Deoxys. I'm not sure if everything else has a reference. The gym leader here studies fossils and ancient artifacts. Trash can is empty. At the end of the gym, a very strong, kind gym leader. Yeah. Okay. So, we probably want to get some of our Pokemon XP here. A Pokemon gym where a leader waits for a challenger at the back of a museum. It has a great atmosphere, doesn't it? So I'll give this to you. A fresh water. All trainers in this gym use normal-type Pokemon. This is just between you and me. Normal-type Pokemon are weak against fighting-type Pokemon. Around here, fighting-type Pokemon show up around Pinwheel Forest. Now, I'll explain about the gym itself. In this Pokemon gym, if you answer questions hidden in books, you can move forward. For your information, the first book is Nice to Meet You, Pokemon. If you don't know where the book is, please ask anyone. The Korean Pokemon Gym, Gym Leader Lenora, Certified Trainers Nobody. All trainers, yeah. Alright, so, first of all, let's see if anybody should learn Rock Smash, which is a fighting-type move, base power of 40. Actually, always higher than I remember it to be. So who can learn this? Nepty can. And it is a TM, right? Yeah, that actually might be good. Okay, because sometimes it's an HM, which is harder to get rid of. Yeah, that's probably just better than Tackle. Or do we want a normal and a fighting type move? Tail Whip is probably kind of useless. Yeah, let's replace Tail Whip. Okay, Nepty forgot and learned Rock Smash. Good. Thief, Work Up, and Cut. We're going to try to teach Rock Smash to other people. Other pokes. Literally, nobody else can learn it. Wow. Okay. Now, who do we want to level up? Nepty and Hypnos are pretty much good. I would say Afro, Psychic, and Flying. So actually, Akari might be better. Akari is normal and flying, right? Yes. We've also got normal and we've also got water, but yeah, I'm going to go with Akari. And when it's oh! Yes, wait. Akari is male. Okay, the male variant of this Pokemon's final evolution is actually much cooler looking than the female variant. So actually that's better, because the last time we had a female variant, which I don't like, because they look very ugly, or at least not interesting. I hang around the Crete gym all the time. People call me a bookworm. I'll warn you now. I'm strong because I spend the entire day either reading books or training Pokemon. Yucky. Whatever you say. All right, so we got to get this Pokemon some XP. Oh my god, that thing is level 17? Holy crap. Okay, that's much higher than I would have thought. So the one thing that we could do that I didn't do last time is probably go into Pinwheel and fight as much trainers as I can. Goes for the Bide. Interesting. So we're just gonna... Crap, I have to attack it, though. So he used Bide once there. So if I use Razor Shell, he'll have to Bide again. So I'm going to Razor Shell here. Oh, God. Oh, God. Please kill him in one hit. Okay. That was a little scary. Yeah, because Bite is a terrible move. I may be a bookworm, but I'm not a bug Pokemon. Bite is a terrible move because basically you do nothing for 2 turns, but then you unleash, like, I guess, 2 times the damage you take. My first recommendation is a book called Nice to Meet You, Pokemon. The bookshelves for children's books are close to the entrance. So, that can be really bad if you're like, yeah, if you get hit by it. This is the bookshelf for children's books. Nice to meet you, Pokemon. Do you want to read this book? It's a fairy tale about a little boy who met a Pokemon for the first time in his life. He's with a small brown Pokemon. There's a memo between the pages. Pokemon trainers, I have the gym leader, Lenora. I had 4 memos in this library. Each of them has a question. Can you solve the questions? Come find me. Now, this is the first question. What is the first Pokemon you met in this gym? The hint is on a bookshelf in the middle row. Now, try to find it. So this would be the middle row here. Now, she's blocking it. This is the bookshelf for Pokemon, the biology of Patrat. Do you want to read this book? It describes the biology of Patrat. They communicate with each other by movement of their tails. A Patrat raises its tail when it sees an enemy. There's a memo on the back cover, so I thought that question was easy. Well, this is the second question. Flame burns inside its body, and it gives off smoke from its head while it runs. What is this book? The hint is somebody may be reading it. Let's go over here. I see. Oh, did you find the memo and come here to look for this book? What does the memo say? Flame burns inside its body, and it gives off smoke from its head while it runs. I'm reading a book called The Structure of a Locomotive. Is this book the correct answer? Oh, that is correct. Flame burns inside its body, and it gives off smoke from its head while it runs. It's exactly how a locomotive looks. Well, I'll let you read this book, but before that, it would be great for my research if we had a Pokemon battle. All right, I figured. Ba-ba-bee, 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 ba-ba-bee. A Herdier. Interesting. Evolution of Lillipup. So we'll send out the Pit of to get some XP, and then we will send out ya boy, Nepti. Uses X Defend. Interesting. Now that counts as an item being used, so we're going to go for the Water Gun, because X Defend is good for physical attacks. Oh, God. Okay, never mind. Uh-oh. Let's go for the Rock Smash. Tackle is a stab move for it. Okay, Rock Smash is going to be super effective. We need that defense drop. There it is. I'm just going to go for it. Razor Shell. Bite, which is not stab, so it shouldn't do too much. It can flinch, though. Razor Shell should finish it. Jeez Louise. Okay. Nepti grew to level 19. Akari grew to level 11. Learned Quick Attack, which is a stab move, and level 12. I've never known anyone so powerful. My head is empty compared to yours. Return a book to a shelf after reading. That is a rule when you read a book. Return a book. Yep, so you said. This is the bookshelf for general studies. The structure of a locomotive. Do you want to read this book? This is a book about a locomotive. Flame burns inside its body and it gives off smoke from its head while it runs by using steam power. There's a memo on the back cover. It's impressive you found this place. That's what I'd expect from a challenger like you. Well, this is the third question. If you heat it up in a pot, it'll be delicious. What is this? The hint is on a bookshelf closer to the entrance than here. So that's got to be this one. This is the bookshelf for children's books, Sweets for Pokemon. It describes delicious sweets made by heating berries in a pot. There are sweets called Poffins made from berries in the faraway Sinnoh region, and Pokemon love them. There's a memo on the cover. Did you manage to get here without being tricked by the questions? Now, this is the last question from this bookshelf. Move 2 backward, move 1 to the left, 2 forward, 1 to the right, and move 1 backward. Now, where is it? The hint is find it by yourself. And I think that's the girl that's standing on the little bookshelf ladder thing. So we'll end this episode here, and then we'll finish that. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the comment section below, what is your least favorite starter Pokemon? Mine is definitely Chikorita. Not a fan. That's okay. Yeah, you can join under the video if you would like to become a member, support the channel, and also get early videos. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.